What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale figure related video. Guys, I've been preaching the gospel of Caustic Plastik for quite some time now. I own many of their figures and I'm just absolutely in love with them. I love each and every one of them for their own reasons, and I think they do absolutely fantastic work over there. And it seems like finally now, guys, they might be getting the larger fan base that they deserve for their products, because this new Maestro line that has been debuted at SDCC 2025 looks very, very special and very impressive. So guys, today in this video, we're going to be taking a look at all of the teases slash announcements from SDCC 2025 from Caustic Plastik. So, of course, you guys know me. You know I'm a big Arnie fan, a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. So as you can see right off the bat, we're going to take a look at Conan the Barbarian. Now, I want to say, first things first, I am beyond impressed by the body and how it looks and how they've done such a great job at mimicking Arnold Schwarzenegger's build during this time. I really, really am impressed here. Not only by the musculature and how they've been able to mimic Arnold Schwarzenegger's build, but I hate to point out the nipples here, but the paint job on this medical grade silicone body that Fabio and the team have been developing, it looks amazing. You've got even the popping out of the veins here throughout his arm and the shoulders. It really looks amazing. So I really want to focus in on that because I think often these custom bodies are overlooked, but this really is top tier work, and I'm very, very impressed. I think it looks very close to Arnold's physique, and I think it looks fantastic. So I wanted to point that out first and foremost. I'm very impressed by how the body looks. Moving up to the head, I see some people with some mixed opinions on this head sculpt. I actually really like this head sculpt. Do I believe that it could be tweaked a little bit, especially in the eye area? For sure. Knowing Fabio and the team, they are very good at receiving feedback, and where they think changes can be made, they absolutely will make those changes. So I have no doubt, based on the feedback, they will update this head sculpt a little bit. But with that being said, I still think it looks very good. I see a lot of people complaining about the mouth area. I do agree that maybe this lower jaw area could be adjusted a little bit, but honestly, guys, the expression on the mouth, after looking at some photos and kind of giving myself a bit of a refresher, it looks really spot on in terms of the actual expression itself. Also, we've seen a lot of weak Arnold Schwarzenegger sculpts throughout the years, and I don't think this is one of them. I do think it could use some adjustments, especially in that eye area, but overall, guys, I think it's a very solid start. And again, I have a lot of faith in this company. I've bought a lot of figures from them. I know what they're capable of and what they deliver in their final product. So I know they will listen to your guys' feedback, and where they feel they can make changes, they definitely will. So this is a very early prototype under development. And I want to point out also, they actually delayed the pre-order date for their Frank Dukes figure because they weren't quite happy with how the prototype was looking. So again, I have full faith that Fabio and the team will make some adjustments where needed. I'm happy with how it looks now. I think it looks fantastic, but they will make those adjustments, I'm sure. Also, commenting on the hair, these being the first wool-rooted hair figures that we're seeing from this Maestro line, this new line from Caustic, I think the hair looks fantastic. I love the way it's teased in the front. I love the way the bangs kind of hang down the sides of the face and frame that face. I think it looks fantastic, guys. Really, really impressive. You could see in this close-up of the face here, the details in that skin, the details on that head sculpt. And again, on that body, there's so many details in this medical-grade silicone seamless body. It really is such a beautiful work of art, really. You know, that's kind of what they're going for with this Maestro line, is kind of going all out, the best technology available in 1/6 scale right now. That's what this line is for, and I think they're showing it off here, especially considering this is a prototype, again, under development, so there's a lot of things that could be changed towards the release of the final product after it goes on pre-order. So keep that in mind, guys. You got full real leather anywhere where they could use real quality materials on any of these Maestro figures they're going to, so it's not going to degrade very quickly on you like some of those people that are in humid climates. The pleather just absolutely disintegrates on them, so you don't have to worry about that at all with Caustic Plastik, because they are always striving to use their best materials possible. So really, really excited about this figure, guys. And I know Fabio had mentioned on a live stream with 6-Scale Mafia, there's going to be multiple versions of this character. So we are going to see most likely that war paint version very soon, as well as a potential third version down the road after those first two go up for pre-order. So I'm probably going to go crazy with this line and buy all three because, again, I love this film, but I also absolutely love Arnold Schwarzenegger as an actor. So very, very exciting stuff. And also, I remember Fabio did name drop potentially wanting to do a Thulsa Doom if they could work out licensing. So that would be amazing. James Earl Jones in full force in this film. That'd be incredible to see. So definitely really cool. I'm really hoping to see a decapitated Thulsa Doom head with one of these figures. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but that would be awesome if that kind of can be our start to potentially getting a Thulsa Doom full figure. So beautiful, beautiful figure. I do have a couple more like in-person photos that aren't quite as well lit, but still really cool to look at from the con, so we will take a look at those a little bit later amongst other photos. But Conan is an absolute W so far for me. I cannot wait. And yeah, once again, I can't stop looking at this body, all the different details sculpted in the veins and everything. It just really reminds me of like the Hot Toys Bane body, because I was really impressed by that one. I feel like this is even more impressive than that. Now we're moving on to a figure that is very near and dear to my heart because this character is so special to me, and I absolutely love this film. This is actually one of my favorite films ever. So I'm very, very excited to finally take a look at Eric Draven from The Crow by Caustic Plastik. Now, seeing that prototype head sculpt render from Caustic months back, I was very excited. But I'm even more excited after seeing these photos. I personally think that this is my favorite Eric Draven portrait to date. I think it's so fantastic, and also the rooted hair is exceptional looking here. I think it frames the face perfectly. That frizziness to all the strands that hang down to the sides of his face look amazing. As we get closer up and look at the details on the sculpt, you'll see they got all the scarring and everything on the face, which a lot of other companies and custom makers didn't do. So again, very, very exciting for me. We have a full leather trench coat, again, with this Maestro line. Fabio and the team are really just going all out. The best of the best materials. I had the Sideshow version. I really did love that figure, but this is no comparison whatsoever. This does look way more like Brandon Lee. That Sideshow version kind of had a caricature in a way going on to it. And also, you didn't have a real leather coat. The tailoring isn't going to be nearly as good as this. I can almost guarantee that once we see more and more of this figure in the coming months. But man, that head sculpt is beautiful. You can see Brandon Lee through and through in this head sculpt. And that says something, because sometimes these figures with makeup on their face, it really takes a strong sculpt to bring out that likeness, because you don't have the skin tone, that depth of that skin tone to kind of frame that likeness. So this is very impressive. I mean, those eyes, you know. Another thing to mention, rolling eyeballs with all of these figures moving forward, which is great to hear. I love that feature because you could really change up your poses in so many ways by just changing those eyeballs just a little bit in one direction or the other. And I think for this figure, it's essential. And this is going to be so awesome to be able to pose these rolling eyeballs and put them in these different poses to recreate scenes from the film. I just cannot wait. I believe, if I remember correctly, Fabio had mentioned a 2-pack, like an all-in pack with multiple diorama bases, 2 versions of Eric Draven. I think the other one would be the shirtless look. I would absolutely love to see that. I'm really hoping, one thing I did like about the Sideshow version, not only did you get that revolver, but you also got the hand where it has the bullet hole in it to replicate that scene where the hole gets blown into his hand. I would love to see that continue with this figure. I'm sure Fabio is going to be very clever with all of the accessories. But man, this just looks freaking incredible. And I'll say this now, out of all of the prototypes we just saw during SDCC, I think this is my favorite, and I think this is the absolute strongest of the bunch when it comes to the likeness and the hair. It's just nearly perfect. I think it looks fantastic. I know that a lot of these sculpts were worked on by both Rocco the sculptor, not only just the sculpts, but the accessories and everything were worked on Dario and Rocco the sculptor. So shout out to those gentlemen. They do amazing work for Caustic all of the time, and I feel like they don't get enough credit. I don't remember off the top of my head which one of these projects was done by who, but credit to both of those gentlemen, and I'm sure Rocco may see this and comment because he likes to do that and loves to share the excitement with his work. So big shout out to those guys for doing such amazing work as always and helping bring these figures to life. Again, The head sculpt just looks phenomenal. The rooted hair is looking fantastic, and I really could not be more happy with the likeness. Like I said, I think it looks great. Again, looking at this picture here, coming back to it, just a beautiful, beautiful figure, and I just want to see more. I want to see those diorama bases. I want to see the accessories. Are we going to get the guitar? Are we going to get the katana, the shotgun, the revolver? Like I mentioned, that hand. There's so many different possibilities, and I have a feeling that Fabio is probably going to do some stuff that we haven't seen before from other officially licensed Eric Draven figures, so I cannot wait to see what he has in store for us. Now, this one is also really special, guys. This is Jareth, the Goblin King from Labyrinth, portrayed by David Bowie, the late great David Bowie. And this one is special for many reasons. Number one, obviously, this is a cult classic film that a lot of us love and a lot of us remember watching as kids or young adults, depending on how old you are. But also, the David Bowie licensing has been kind of rough since he passed away, from what I heard with his estate. So Fabio is just a magician with this stuff. He got it worked out. Guys, I gotta be honest with you, I think this head sculpt is phenomenal for multiple reasons. One, the eye makeup and the attention to detail with the different sized pupils. The hair, that classic 80s hairband style hair. I think they did such a great job at making those individual strands lay on the sides of the head how they are here in this photo. I think it looks excellent. When it comes to the likeness, I think it's really good. I see most people really praising this one. I love seeing this hand here with the orb, but what I'm hoping to see is maybe a hand where you can kind of have all three, maybe juggling the three of them. I would love to see that. Obviously, that's an iconic aspect of the character. So I don't know how they would do that. Maybe with some sort of clear poles connecting the three. I don't know, but fingers crossed. It's not a deal breaker, but I would love to see it. Fingers crossed we get to see that. I did see some people mentioning that this was not their most favorite outfit from the film. I really like this outfit. I think it translates really well to 1/6 scale. Obviously, he had many iconic outfits throughout this film. Would this have been the first outfit I chose? No, but honestly, I'm not upset with it. I think it looks awesome. Again, with this Maestro line, you have rolling eyeballs, wool-rooted hair. Anything that could be pleather is leather. All quality materials. I love that velvet there on the sleeves and on the back of the shirt. I think he looks great, guys. This is really exciting. There's a close-up of that head sculpt. Again, the attention to detail with the larger pupil there just looks beautiful. For me, like I said, I think this sculpt is phenomenal. The fact that it has rolling eyeballs is huge. I think that's definitely a must with this character in particular, and a lot of these other characters. But what a great looking figure. This is such a great film. Again, mentioning the 6-Scale Mafia live stream, Fabio did mention an interest in doing a bunch of the puppets. I know a lot of people are going to want Sarah as well. There's no mention of doing Sarah yet, but it seems like Fabio is very interested in this line, so we'll see where that takes us. Now, this one is from a recently announced license acquisition for Kaustic. You have finally officially licensed Re-Animator figures with Dr. Herbert West here. And this photo here just reminds me so much of this film. It's such an iconic look in this pose here with the fluid and the syringe. I think this is really cool. Love the attention to detail with these announcement photos, by the way. Here we have the head of Dr. Carl Hill, David Gale's character, and if you guys have seen this film, this head does something, let's say, pretty memorable in the film to one of the female characters. I'll leave it at that, but this is awesome. This is a really cool inclusion, and again, I'm just thinking of that scene, and it makes me laugh because it's just so over the top, but definitely a really cool inclusion. Here's a close-up of that head. Again, really nice details, as always, from Kaustic. I love the paint apps. I love how the blood looks more realistic than you usually see from some other companies when it comes to their blood paint apps. I think this is a really cool included accessory, and I cannot wait to see what else is included with this set because I'm sure there's just a lot of really cool stuff. So here's that video that I was referring to with Fabio talking with Guy from Sideshow. By the way, big congrats to Fabio. This is awesome to see again. As Fabio continues to grow with the team, it's really cool to see opportunities like this. But anyways, Taking a look at the 2-pack that I mentioned earlier, you have Dr. West and Dr. Hill with that creepy skull head that you can open up, apparently, according to Fabio here, which is really cool. This is a really cool set. I love 2-packs. I just have something about 2-packs, the packaging and having multiple figures in there, all the accessories, like the Horror of Dracula 2-pack from Caustic Plastik. What an amazing set. And this is going to be such a fun, really cool set to have in the collection. I can't wait to see everything that comes with it. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit more that we're not seeing here, but man, what a cool set. Tons of imagination here, and very, very excited to see the full set for this and the pricing and everything. And here we have another video from Fabio and Guy from Sideshow talking about the Jareth, aka the Goblin King figure, and you can see the diorama piece behind him a little bit better. I'm guessing that's going to be polystone, perhaps, based on a lot of the previous diorama bases from Caustic Plastik. Guys, he looks amazing, like I mentioned earlier. What a beautiful figure. An incredible likeness on that head sculpt, in my opinion. And as I mentioned earlier as well, talking about the outfit, I think this outfit just translates really well at a 1/6 scale. Sometimes, guys, although alternate outfits for this character would be cool, sometimes there are certain choices made because they translate a little bit better, into 1/6 scale. So I think this was a good choice. I like that maroon color and how it contrasts with the background. I love that gold labyrinth font, that gold font that Caustic is known for putting on all of their bases, so they're all very uniform. I really love to see that. But yeah, as the video restarts here, I just want to say once again, congrats to Fabio. What a cool opportunity. And I'm telling you guys, no one has more passion about what they do when it comes to 1/6 scale stuff than Fabio. Just seeing his eyes light up when he's talking about these figures just really makes me happy, and I'm sure a lot of you guys happy, because it shows you that the person that's selling you something is not just selling you something to make money, but they're selling you something that they themselves would love to have in their collection, and it just really shows with the passion that comes out when Fabio starts talking about this stuff. So it's really cool to see and very heartwarming at the same time. But I did mention this earlier before we close out the video. I want to show you, I think there's only a handful of them, some shots of the figures actually at the convention. I don't know who took these photos, so sorry, I would give you credit if I knew. Again, the lighting isn't the best here, but it's just cool to see them actually in the display. That body is just super, super impressive. I cannot wait to see that in person and feel the weight to it. I know Fabio had mentioned these will have a metal internal skeleton, so I'm sure it's going to feel so nice in hand. Just a really nice, well-proportioned body that looks just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Again, that Eric Draven sculpt, it's calling to me. I just think it looks so freaking good. I think this is the last photo that I have from this particular set of photos, so sorry if I feel like I overpromised you a little bit. I do have this photo here of the entirety of the Caustic booth. I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys so you can see everything kind of in the background. You can see our boy Frank Dukes there. I need to see our Chong Li hopefully soon. I really want that figure to pair with Frank Dukes. We have our London After Midnight figure here, which I hope to see some more close-up photos here today. Here's the new Frankenstein statue, quarter-scale statue. I believe that was definitely done by Rocco the Sculptor. It looks like maybe a Re-Animator quarter-scale back here as well. I would love to see, Fabio, if you're watching, please do a Red Death 1/6 scale figure. I know this is a 1/6 scale statue, I believe, but I would love to see a Red Death 1/6 scale figure to go with that amazing Phantom of the Opera main look figure with the organ and everything. It would just look so cool to have them together, and that would be so beautiful in 1/6 scale with that red fabric. I would love to see that. I know a third-party company did one recently, but I thought it looked pretty terrible. So in Fabio, we trust, hoping to see that. One more thing I do want to share at the very end. This is mainly just a shout out to my buddy Tim and everybody over in the Caustic Plastik Facebook group. Guys, again, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, going full circle, if you weren't paying attention to Caustic before, maybe you are now, because they are expanding their licenses and doing stuff that kind of appeals to more and more people. So if you haven't already, please join the Caustic Plastik / Infinite Statue collectible figure group. I love this group because it's just everything Caustic Plastik and everybody sharing their love for their figures and all the different pieces that they do. So as we close out this video, I want to thank everybody for watching, but also go hop into this group. I will put a link in the description. Guys, let me know in the comments down below which figure or figures excite you the most. What are your thoughts on the prototypes? Again, I know, especially that Conan I saw on Facebook, it was kind of divisive. I really like it. I think it looks fantastic. Can it be improved? Absolutely. But with that being said, I think it looks absolutely awesome. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. See ya.